Welcome to Lehigh Valley Mirror. This month we look at filmmakers, film lovers, and film outlets in the Lehigh Valley. Check out fine indie film and a locally curated cult horror film series at Steel Stacks. Learn about the area's foremost film festival and its influence. Meet a local filmmaker whose projects have taken him to Sundance. But first, put on the popcorn for a national landmark of cinema.
Shankweiler's Drive-In is the second oldest drive-in in America. Actually, it's the oldest now, I guess you could say. It was the second one built. It was built in 1934. The first one was built in 1933 in Camden, New Jersey, by a gentleman by the name of Richard Hollingshead. And Wilson Shankweiler had gone on vacation in Atlantic City, and he wanted to stop to see this drive-in, and he had a walk-in outdoor theater here near his hotel. So he decided he wanted to build a drive-in, so we opened in 1934, and it was the second drive-in built, now the oldest existing.
We purchased the drive-in in 1984 from Bob Malcolmus, and we've had it since then.
Yeah. I started working for him in 1971. It was my first full-time job out of high school, and I've been here ever since. So we purchased it in 1984. Tonight is Prometheus, and the code feature is The Avengers. You know, it depends on the movie, depends on the weather. You know, we do okay. To garner our customers to a family-oriented trade.
People are discovering the drive-in that maybe didn't live near a drive-in and have moved to the area. So we do get a lot of people from Philly, and we do get a lot of New Jersey and New York, and they come up and have a wonderful time, you know. So that's neat too.
With any entertainment venue, we have a limited capacity. And the problem we always have with big family films is we sell out early. So if anybody from out of town wants to come and spend an hour's, 2 hours ride to get here, please get here early.
We're very flat out here, so we have to kind of have them park at certain areas. So that everybody can see, and the majority of the people are very good about that, tying down their hatchbacks and, you know, being considerate.
The in-car speakers are no longer, we eliminated them totally about 3 or 4 years ago. And when we converted over to FM stereo, Shankweiler's is the first drive-in in the United States to have FM stereo. We now have FM stereo broadcasts. It's a micro vicinity unit. Very low wattage, just enough for our customers. It doesn't go out and transmit out to the universe somewhere.
We open in April, sometime in April, and we go all the way through till Labor Day. Well, we have the best popcorn, and everybody says that comes out here, and we always use real butter on our popcorn. We have your usual fare, the hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, and we also have turkey and pork barbecue, which are excellent. You know, the candy and the ice cream, funnel cakes, pretzels, soft pretzels, and, you know, a lot of hot and cold beverages and stuff. So we do pretty well. We really do try to keep our prices reasonable. We have to switch to digital by next year.
Yeah.
So,
every theater, it hasn't been determined by the film distributors yet, or the film companies, as to the exact cutoff date of 35mm film. However, it's been anticipated sometime by the end of 2012 or sometime during 2013. You have to more or less close the projection room off to all outside elements, put heat and air conditioning in the building, so it's going to cost a little bit more than that.
I don't think either one of us want to get rid of it. So
No, we don't.
We just have to figure out the logistics of everything.
Exactly. We certainly don't want to see America's oldest drive-in closed.
We both worked at an indoor theater. That's how we met in high school. So we've been
in the business.
We've been doing it for a long time.
We're available. We're here. Just come on out and have a good time.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for details on a most excellent cult film series at the Valley's newest movie house. Visit us where Lehigh Valley Mirror began, online at LVmirror.com. Check out our archive of fun and exciting videos about area restaurants, shops, events, local happenings, and more. See what's coming up on our calendar page, and read our fun weekly comic strip. Also, see exclusive content that's not in the show at LVmirror.com. It reflects us.
Hi guys, I'm Jamie Kay and I'm on the set of the Save the Kales vegan cooking show, but I wanted to tell you about a contest I'm having to win this book. This is Great Gluten-Free Vegan Eats by Allison Kramer, who writes the blog Manifest Vegan. She's amazing. She's a great photographer, as evidenced by photos in the book, and a wonderful recipe developer, and also a pretty fantastic person. So you can win a copy of this book plus a Save the Kales t-shirt by going to the Save the Kales Facebook page and leaving a comment explaining what cookbook in the history of your life is the most meaningful to you. I will choose one winner at random to win a copy of Great Gluten-Free Vegan Eats and a t-shirt, and you have until August 1st to do it. So check out the Facebook page and get reading.
Lehigh Valley Mirror has some of the best advertising rates around. You can get a 30-second ad like this for just $50 when you sign up for one of our packages. You'll also get an ad on our website and logo in our weekly newsletter. All of that goes to a potential audience of over 100,000 people. Advertise with us and reach our unique audience of television viewers, web users, and mobile abusers. Contact us today to learn more about our affordable rate packages.
We are in the Frank Banko Ale House Cinemas. We're in the Red Cinema, actually. This is the 200-seat cinema. We're in one of the few cinemas that allow you to bring beer and wine that, of course, you don't bring from home, but you bring in from the bistro outside. We're a foreign art house independent cinema, and we do a lot of specialty programming that nobody around here does. The vision was there to bring something unique as far as a cinema experience. It wasn't necessarily about the film so much as the experience, to the Lehigh Valley. And that experience, that kind of higher experience of what a cinemaphile is better served when you're doing independent foreign art house releases. We do a lot of specialty programming that nobody around here does. Repertory stuff, like we'll be showing Jaws later in June. In July, we've been running the late night horror series.
Jay and Brian's Excellent Video Store is a, I guess you would say, traditional style video rental and used movie store.
Well, basically it started with a giant movie collection and, some amateur writing and directing and, I was looking for an actor and I was pointed at Jay and, basically we just met up and, realized we both had two gigantic movie collections and, basically from there it just started.
First was a patron, went to a bunch of their showings, a bunch of their screenings of, classic horror films.
Well, it starts with a giant list of about 100 movies, and then basically we have to bicker at each other to figure out which ones we want to play, because there's just so many to show and only so many weekends in a year, It's just basically, it's like, what aren't we gonna show?
Certifiably hard not to choose the thing that you want to watch and something that everybody needs to watch, but kind of put feelers out for what's going on, in the mainstream theater world. For example, Prometheus was a big release, so we said, hey, let's put the sequel on the big screen, before the movie comes out. So kind of get an idea on you know, what people are into in the now to, you know, kind of see what they'd be into watching from back then.
This time, it's war.
In October, we're doing Nosferatu on the big screen, the original, black and white, with Not So Silent Cinema. They're a band, and they play in front of the film because, you know, as most people know, the film is silent. So, you know, it's like a live scoring of the film. You know, a traditional vampire movie with a little something extra.
And this particular band for Nosferatu is a band that just calls themselves Not So Silent Cinema. They tour around the East Coast performing in front of silent films. They do Mark of Zorro. We've got them coming in for Nosferatu, which is like one of the first vampire movies from 1932. We're really excited for that.
First weekend of the month, we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Second weekend of the month, we have Friday the 13th, Part 6. The last weekend of the month, we have Vincent Price, Last Man on Earth. And the second to last weekend of the month is the Jay and Brian Presents showing of Hellraiser, high definition cut of the film on the big screen.
I want to go with, you know, the higher grossing horror movies as opposed to, you know, The Stranger and Obscure, where, you know, you're going to get 3 people showing up instead of, you know, 100. So, you know, it has to be, you know, we all love Blood Car, but, you know, we know 4 people are going to see it, as opposed to if you show something like Aliens, you'll, you know, basically almost sell out the theater.
We felt that it was important to bring that in because it's just part of the mission at Arts Quest to, you know, to serve the arts. And, you know, with the arts, you know, there's already enough multiplexes around, I think, arguably, and maybe not enough foreign independent art house cinemas. And so we've found that, you know, the market is definitely there. We've been doing as well, I think, as any first year. I guess we're in our second year. Cinema could possibly hope to do. A cinema experience. What it is that we want to provide is not just on screen, but obviously when you sit down, you get to relax and, you know, and just kind of take a load off for a couple hours. So the idea was that, you know, these seats were kind of quote unquote state of the art. They don't have the massage things in them, but would have been nice. But they're comfy. As far as the picture, you know, we wanted to make sure too, you know, every cinema is facing and has faced or is dealing with the idea of digital conversion. And we are halfway through that process. We just need a couple more things. We have the digital projectors. We wanted to make sure we were ready for that because, you know, the time's coming where, and it's very soon, where people are not going to be giving out film anymore. The film is very strangely going to be this thing of the past that you're going to get archival prints, you know, and we will keep our 35mm projectors so that we can show archival film and things like that. We know there's still a huge value in being able to show film. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be a home for people who really love cinema in the Lehigh Valley. That's what, you know, Arts Quest and the Frank Banco Ale House Cinemas wants to be. We want to be that home for people who love cinema, love to talk about cinema, love to be a part of it.
It's like the same reasons that, you know, we have this business. You know, at the end of the day, you have to do what you like. So we get to do what we like all the time. You know, it's kind of like being a kid, always, and having this big box of toys. And you get to open up that toy chest and share your toys and the things you love with everybody, you know.
More or less, it's just the experience of, you know, just sharing what you love with somebody else, you know.
When we return, meet the folks behind the scenes of the South Side Film Festival.
This will be our 9th festival, our 9th annual. It was started by, co-founded by myself, but founded by a guy named Graham Stanford. Been a customer here at our shop, at our cafe for several years, and he had done a small festival across the street at one of the local places, and he thought about expanding that idea basically to some of the other businesses on the south side. And at the same time, a lot of the people in the business group were looking for different events that we could start promoting. Somebody threw out the idea of a film festival, and when I heard that, I said, "Yeah, I know this guy Graham. He's talking about expanding this film festival. Why don't we get together with him?"
We took kind of like the everyman's approach to it. Not that this festival is completely run by volunteers, no paid staff. We're a non-profit. We've been doing it for 9 years, and none of us are film experts or whatnot. We're just people that liked film. We're tired of what was in the theaters in Hollywood, and I don't know, just tried to make an independent fest and see what the real voice out there is for independent film.
In the world of filmmaking, I do set design and art direction. As a documentary filmmaker, right now I'm working on a really sweet project that's personal for me. It's a film called Festival, the Film. It actually started through my involvement with the Southside Film Festival. As a kid, I used to do documentary filmmaking of my friends' bands and things at shows and things like that. But when I worked for Southside Film Festival, we offered a course which was a 4-day intensive study on documentary filmmaking, where you learn the process of filmmaking, you learn how to use a camera, you learn the editing process on the computer using Final Cut, and you were given 2 hours of blank tape in which you went out, you were given a subject, you created a film about that subject, and you edited it down to a 5-minute piece, which was eventually filmed and screened at the festival. And I was always the person that oversaw that workshop, but could never engage in the workshop as much as I'd like because I was always involved with many other things with the festival. So I went out to Utah where the class was also offered, took the class and engaged myself a little bit more, bought myself a used camera, and have been doing it ever since, as I just love the documentary subject.
Promoting independent film and filmmakers, it's promoting the community of South Bethlehem, which we do pretty well, I think.
If something was to come your way, I mean something so irresistible that you just had to have it, do you think you could sacrifice everything for it and not regret it?
That depends on what it was.
When they get to town, or if they're from town and are looking for where to start, they can come here to Deja Brew, which is festival headquarters during the fest. We have everything set up in here. We have tickets, we have t-shirts, we have all the information. Anything that you have questions on that you can't find on the website or is unclear, we can answer here.
The way we kind of separate is that Brocco Middle School will primarily have our feature films, feature narratives. Whitaker Lab will have our shorts blocks, which run the gamut of genres. We have 5 shorts blocks. And then Victory is where you go for documentaries. We have visiting filmmakers, so there will be select screenings where there will be a Q&A. I think pretty much almost every single shorts block, not all of them, but almost everyone will have a film, at least 1 or 2 filmmakers present to do a Q&A after. And some of the short documentaries as well. As the group, we have been doing every 3rd Thursday of the month a free screening, usually a documentary, but something to provoke conversation. So
the buzz that these films create, films that no one, for the most part, have ever heard of in Bethlehem, and people are talking about films that they want to see ahead of the festival, which I always find that amazing. I think that's really cool. The reaction that we get from the filmmakers when they come to town of how they always compliment us on how well we run the festival, which is always a surprise to us and a pleasant surprise. We like to hear that. But they love coming to the town. A lot of the people come from New York, they come from other states, other countries. They love the atmosphere we create here. And that really makes things worthwhile. When we're able to pull that off and people say, wow, what a great city, this is really cool here.
And to have a vehicle like Southside Film Festival that can bring these filmmakers from all over the world in here, films that you don't normally see, and expose them to the Lehigh Valley and people outside of the Lehigh Valley. It's a point of pride for me, and I'm very, very proud to see it continue to grow and become a great festival.
Up next, find out what inspires a nationally known filmmaker to keep producing in the Valley. Lehigh Valley Mirror has some of the best advertising rates around. You can get a 30-second ad like this for just $50 when you sign up for one of our packages. You'll also get an ad on our website and logo in our weekly newsletter. All of that goes to a potential audience of over 100,000 people. Advertise with us and reach our unique audience of television viewers, web users, and mobile abusers. Contact us today to learn more about our affordable rate packages. Visit us where Lehigh Valley Mirror began, online at LVmirror.com. Check out our archive of fun and exciting videos about area restaurants, shops, events, local happenings, and more. See what's coming up on our calendar page, and read our fun weekly comic strip. Also, see exclusive content that's not in the show at LVmirror.com. It reflects us.
I literally was up at Syracuse in the graduate school, and my professor at the time, the name of Dana Plays, after seeing my first film, she asked me what the hell I was doing in film school. And I basically got really uptight, wondering where the heck she was going with this line of questioning. And she's like, why spend $38,000 going to school when you can make your first film like that just like John Waters? Little did she know, I was actually in John Waters' film Hairspray. So this bit of advice really resonated with me, and this was like basically the beginning of my drive to stay independent. I learned way too much about this business by doing it all on my own. Learned how to pull apart projectors, learned all kinds of stuff basically because I had the passion to create and to tell stories through the medium of a film. But I really needed to learn so much beyond just the craft of filmmaking.
What's your problem, Shay?
Nothing.
Nothing. It doesn't look like nothing.
Let's get married.
Excuse me?
Why not?
Wow, what brought this on?
I don't know. I was just thinking, I guess. Why are we together if there's no future?
When was the last time you ate?
I don't know.
Well, Shay, when did you eat last?
It's not important.
It isn't. You're delusional.
I had 4 Big Macs for lunch. Is that what you want to hear?
my last big feature was a film called In Search Of, which is still in the top 10 all time on Hulu, which is pretty awesome. It still resonates. In fact, I still get a lot of feedback from the film to this day. You know, I made the film that I wanted to make, but I really try to keep the persistence of vision alive in telling the story.
You know, the guys are starting to wonder. You hiding something? Yeah. Are you gay? You know, not that it would matter if you were. No. Then what's the problem?
I always imagined losing my virginity to somebody special.
Like Kathy? Uptown Susie is special. She takes the
A
little
movie called Affairs, which is a black and white film. That was my very first movie. Then after that was AKA, Loggerheads. We've had projects at Sundance. It all depends on where I'm at. Like, you know, we've had a couple of films at Sundance now and other major film festivals. And thank God I've actually made some money back on our stuff. So.
Something pulls her back.
When birth mothers like yourself try to find relinquished children, it can be very disruptive to the adoptive family. A closed adoption protects them.
Protects them from what?
From you.
My next project, Billboard, An Uncommon Contest for Common People, is about a gentleman named Casey Lindweiler, and he has a struggling radio station, WTYT 960.
WTYT 960. Your only alternative rock AM station.
Casey's grand plan is to save his radio station is to host a billboard sitting contest, where 4 people live in a billboard till one person survives, to win $960,000 in a mobile home. It's always funny because when I'm at Sundance or at a different film festival, people always ask me where I'm from. And when I say I'm from, you know, I used to be from Allentown, I'm from Easton. But, you know, when I say, you know, Easton, Pennsylvania, they look at me like I've got 4 heads because the LA group thinks I'm from New York, and the New York group thinks I'm from LA. And then when I say, you know, Eastern Pennsylvania, like there's this huge, like, you know, what the heck is that all about? Like, yeah, I could just be another number out in LA or New York. But here I actually really, you know, rolled up my sleeve and tried to do something different and unique. Where, you know, I feel like there could be a lasting impression upon a lot of people because I took the hard way.
Thanks for joining us on a celluloid adventure on Lehigh Valley Mirror. Check us out online for more exclusive content at LVmirror.com. And don't forget to find us on Facebook and Twitter. Lehigh Valley Mirror. See it, live it.